Hi guys, this is Tons and Don. This is my weekly review. I did not take any trade this week. I was really busy with my life outside of trading, so trading came very secondary this week. So I did not have that much time available and ended up not trading apart from Tuesday with one missed trade and another one that happened just after I went back to bed. So I'll go back quickly. It's going to be a quick video. My bias coming into the week for this week or for the coming weeks was for Bitcoin to take December high at least, maybe go even to the 50-week EMA, give it a rejection, probably a retest, and that would be bullish for further upside. Or if we are to just take that rejection and go lower for more downside. And same plan for Ethereum. Whoever was going to take any liquidity first and tap into their supply. Coming down to the 4 hour, pretty similar. So here's my weekend here, this gap at the bottom, Sunday pump, Monday pump, and when you have a big pump like this over the Friday, the weekend, and the Monday, there's a high likelihood you're gonna get a reversal on Tuesday, which is what happened. Gonna drop down to the 15-minute, which is where it happened. So my plan for this week was to let Monday play out, especially when you have a big run up like this, and come Tuesday only for rejection. So took Monday off, no trades. I showed up here in UK. Yes, Asia didn't present anything for me. And in UK here, the mistake I made is that's a setup that I used to like a lot, but I didn't see for, I'd say a while. Maybe I didn't pay proper attention to it. But it's when you have your Asia range, which is my green lines here, and you get three sharp moves, either in Asia extension, UK open, preferably into Asia extension, and then you have a W formation, multi-session, meaning you have the first peak in Asia, the second peak in UK, and you can trade that reversal into 50% Asia, taking Asia high, or in this case, maybe if Bitcoin was going to take Monday high, which is this gray line here, into that supply. So missed this one, did not pay proper attention, and my idea was really to wait for Monday high to get taken, which wasn't the case neither on Ethereum. And you can easily get, how to explain, you can miss an opportunity because your bias is something different. So at this point, when this price action happened, I wasn't super focused because I wanted to wait for this to happen to get my short entry if possible. And that made me miss this trade, which was a good one, but it's good. I will pay more attention to this fact. It's one of my goals for 2026 because London session is the only one I'm going to be able to trade every day with my new work. So I want to really focus on London and master this session. So came into US. Sadly, US is during the nighttime for me, living in Australia. But I do wake up at times when I think the setup is going to present. And this is what I did here on Tuesday. I woke up, so at US Open usually, because I know for an hour price is going to manipulate before it does the clear move. And I woke up at 1:30 here, you can see at the bottom. And I stayed up for an hour, I think it was 2:30. And because we held 50% of Asia here on Bitcoin, and here at the same time, I wanted so Bitcoin did not take Monday high. Bitcoin, yeah, and Ethereum did here. But I wanted Ethereum to break back below and retest. And the fact that we held here told me like, oh, maybe I'm not going to get what I wanted. So I went back to bed after an hour up, and I had to wake up early on Wednesday because I was busy crossing state. So I ended up going back to bed just before 2:30, exactly just before this gray candle, which would have been a telltale sign of, okay, this is a reversal, this is actually what we're doing. Even if Ethereum was already still above Monday high, this after taking Asia high, beautiful information, drops the EMA, and then here you have a proper retest, so conservative entry on the 5 minute. And I'll zoom in on this pattern because this pattern is really good. If you pay attention to candles, is evening star with these 3 candles, and then you have followed up by an inverted hammer here. This is a beautiful entry, and it's one, I think, of the setup that I'd be happy to go heavy on my risk. This is one of my big goals for 2026 as well, is be able to go bigger on the A plus setup. And then this was a goal for 2025, but I never felt really confident, or it never really presented to me to have this like really beautiful setup where I'll be happy to go a little bit heavy on the risk, maybe 1.5%, maybe 2. I think 1.5 is already good, because even if this is an A plus setup, an A plus setup might get a 70 or 80% win rate. Even if you push it to 80, 90, there is still 20 to 10% chance that it's going to be a loss. So you don't want to be hit too much if that trade ends up being a loss, being the probabilities of trading. So missed this trade. Not really gutted about it because, like I said, usually I don't trade US, and sometimes I give myself the chance to trade it, and I'll be up for an hour or 2 hour at max. And if it doesn't present during this time frame, then I just won't be able to trade. It is what it is. So yeah, for me, honestly, over the whole week, the 2 best trades were here: sweep of Asia low, double multi-session W, trade into 50% Asia or the high. Even this, if you would have waited for the retest, everything here obviously is hindsight, but this little hammer that retested, and whether you pay your stop here or you stop here and you target Asia highs, it's a beautiful trade. If you're a bit more aggressive and you take this one, amazing trade. Like, you're done for the week with something like this. So like I said, hindsight, everybody's good in hindsight, and we can say this was the trade, but when price isn't rolling under our eyes, it's a fully different story. So I'll go back to the 15, but then from then, Wednesday wasn't here. I had problems with my car broke down, had to go across state by a bike to be able to go to work. And Thursday and Friday were my work days, and I can't trade Asia. I can trade UK, but here nothing happened. And here in London on Friday, same, nothing crazy. I'm not going into the 1 or 2 minute time frames. 1505, and yeah, similar on Ethereum here. So the other point as well is when we get runs like this on the weekend and Monday, usually you have the CME gap that creates. So you have a pretty big CME gap here. This is CME open here. So you can go to the CME chart and check it over there, but you'd have a gap here, and this is usually the target for the rest of the week. This is what happened here on Bitcoin. And Ethereum, I think the gap wasn't that big because price went back all the way here. Obviously the CME charts are a little bit different. Ethereum wasn't that good, I think, for trading this week, even though I want to focus a little bit more on Ethereum than Bitcoin. So here it is. I've got my prop firm account. So this is a new account I purchased, 100k account. I'm on the evaluation. I haven't placed a trade yet. Nothing happened. I want to be fully transparent, so I'm going to show you as well all my accounts that I had since I started, because it's easy to show payouts, but you can have a lot of payouts and money. But if you constantly buy evaluation, there is a lot of people here that probably spend more money on evaluations than what they got payout, and it's easy to show a 10k payout, and people can easily spend 15 or 20 on evaluations. So here you are. This is when I started prop firm in August. So yeah, end of September here. First evaluation, I was trying things and I tried to go heavy. Bridged this one. Second one passed. So this is my funded from account that I got from this evaluation. And once I took some payouts of this funded account, I paid for another evaluation and bridged this funded and bridged this evaluation at the same time, because I was trading them the same. So this was November and December when I just couldn't get a good trade, and I just paid for this new evaluation here. So this was $500. This was $500 US. This other evaluation was $500 US, and this was 1,000. So that's 2,500 spent on breakout, and the payouts. So I'm just gonna go back. This funded account here finishes by 0.3 is the one I took payouts of, and that's about $2,600 of payouts on this account. So I'm break even on this prop firm, which is good for me for the last 3 months, and hopefully we get this new was it not showing up? Yeah. Follow up with this evaluation throughout the new year, and going to show the whole journey about passing the evaluation, my new approach, and I'm going to do a video on what are the changes I'm going to implement in my trading in 2026 compared to 2025, like all things that are already changed, and how I am approaching my prop firm account and the changes I'm making risk wise and payouts wise as well, to use it to the best, because this is not what I've done with the previous accounts. So there we are, quick video review of the week. Can't wait for next week. See you guys.